My name is Gene, for those that don't know, and for those that may be new to SUSO, it is Stand Up, Stand Out, Auckland Council's offering for a youth music and dance competition. Now, I'm going to go through some of the changes for 2020 and some of the things that will stay the same, after which you'll have the opportunity to ask questions, and you can type questions in and up here on the sidebar. So the key changes, well, these changes have been enforced because of, obviously because of COVID, and that's impacted SUSO, it's impacted New Zealand, it's impacted the world. So it has been important for us, though, from the outset, regardless of the times that we present an opportunity for the young people, for the young students in the Auckland region, but to do so safely and to do so within the restrictions that have been put upon us. So going through these key changes, the first is, you may have seen on the entry form that we moved to a hubs format, which is effectively replacing what has been the heats based at OMAC. We are taking a Auckland Council facility out in each of the 5 regions, Southwest, Northeast and Central Auckland, and providing those spaces to replace effectively those heats. The biggest thing for 2020 is that it's not a competition this year. There are competitive elements, but it is not a competition as it has been previously. So I'm sure you'll have questions around that, and we can go to that, deal to that a bit later. These hubs will be held and run in a closed audition format, which is about student safety first and foremost. And I can field questions about that if you have more later. Another significant change is that we can only manage, or we are dealing with less numbers than we would normally have. And for those that may be aware of SUSO in the past, we've had up to 1,500 students from across Auckland participate. That has reduced. And again, if you have questions, please do fire them through. Unfortunately, there is no dance category in 2020, and again, that is based upon our approval system of getting SUSO across the line and what was deemed to be safe, given that the approval process started during level 4. So we have had to work to those as part of the guidelines. Obviously, not having dance means that this is purely music focused, and that can be from both solo to group, and both vocal and instrument based. We won't be having the big final that we would normally have, and we replace that with the smaller showcase at the Mangere Arts Centre. And we have changed the language around our judges. We will still have industry experts present, but this year we are calling them selectors. Again, it's a change of language because it's not a competition. So what has stayed the same? Again, going back to what was important for us with SUSO and those that are working behind the scenes, was that first and foremost, we provided the students with a performance opportunity. And that was at the forefront of what we were doing and what we want SUSO to be about. So there is that, and the students will have that opportunity to perform, and they will have industry experts, eyes on and critique throughout. So the level of which students can, to a degree, tailor, they can ask for more feedback, and the score sheets will be made available, or some written feedback can be made available, but on-the-spot feedback is also optional. If students prefer not to, they can opt out of that. Also, what we've set in place over the last 5 years is pathways to industry, and that is still in place. And what I mean by that we will be looking to identify young talent to pass on or to recommend to APRA and the Song Hubs program. There'll be pathways to record for those that choose to perform originals throughout any of the hubs or finals, or showcases, should I say. If selected, But there are also very curated pathways to Auckland Council events and festivals that we've put in place, including music in parks. Now, for example, those students who qualify for the regional showcase will automatically go into a music and parks performance opportunity. Again, it's optional, they don't have to, but that will be part of the summer 2021 Music and Parks program. And as mentioned, we will have eyes on opportunities for young people to perform at other Auckland Council run and delivered events and festivals. And as mentioned, we are replacing the final, but there is a showcase. So in terms of the students working towards something, there is that competitive element still there, and they will be competing for regional representation. Regional rivalry is a big part of SUSO that we're trying to drive, and it may inform changes for SUSO moving forward post 2020 if we feel that it is a successful format, and then if it's something that ultimately your students and you guys are supportive of. So with that being said, I am fielding questions now, and you can send them through, and I will get to them all in good time. So please hit us up. Nothing today. So okay, something from Lee. How many entries per school? Kia ora, Lee. Good to hear from you. That is an unknown because we have very set numbers that we can take per region. That we will look at the total number of entries that are submitted for that region, and then work out a maximum number based on the number of schools that each school can put in. So say for example, the West region have 80 entries. We have to work that back to a number around 40, to a maximum of 50. And we would then look at the total number of schools, the total number of entries, work out an average, and that'll give us a maximum number of participants or entries from any one particular school. Oh yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I can see a number of familiar names up there, and thank you for all your ongoing support for Stand Up, Stand Out. Thanks, Tim. Any more questions? How many each? How many people from each region? So there'll be a maximum of 5 advancing from each of the regional hubs to go through to the showcase, so which will be a maximum of 20, or a total of 25 performances to feature at the showcase. And this could be, well, this will be the best 5 as selected by our industry selectors. So yeah, that, to answer your question, 5 from each region. Have we got any more questions coming through? Nothing at this stage. Okay. We'll just, okay. So the reason behind, another question from Lee, and the question was, what is the reason behind smaller vocal groups? This was purely based on the social distancing restrictions that were put in place at level 4, and I understand that we've moved along since then, but that was part of the approval process for us, that we maintained safety measures, or put student safety first and foremost. So, and we're working to various or different facilities with different capacities. So we wanted to make sure that student safety or social distancing was maintained throughout. Basically the same reason why we couldn't allow dance, but wanting to keep student safety paramount is why we've kept it a limit on group sizes and band sizes. I hope that answers your question. And don't be shy, just fire those questions. Okay. Oh, how can we support? I guess getting those entries in ASAP so that we know, the earlier we have a snapshot of the total number of entries that we have, then we can start casting the borders, because we will, depending on some regions and numbers for schools per region, we may reshape the boundaries within each of those regions. So the sooner we have all your entries in, the sooner we know what we're working with and then how to scale that accordingly. So if there was a way to help, it would be, yeah, I guess getting those entries in ASAP. Second part of your question, sorry Lee, I've just seen that. Can we stay for the day on HubSpot? So again, to avoid cross contact between schools, we will be having one school in the venue at any one time. Now, for Otahuhu College, if you have 3 or 4 bands, they're all welcome to be in the performance space. Although we call it closed audition formats, those students already from that school can stay, and we encourage support. We encourage that vocal support for each of the performers. I know it's a shift away from what SUSU has been, where peer support from kids from the North Shore supporting kids from West Auckland to South Auckland, and that is a big part of the SUSU culture. We understand that, but again, working with the restrictions that were put in play with us, we have to keep schools isolated. So unfortunately, that is the play, and I hope that answers your question. Go on. Any more questions? And ask the hard ones too, because don't feel like you're going to be on the spot here. This is the point of holding this week, is to field those difficult questions as well. The plan is, Laura, the question around live streaming, the plan is to do so. Again, we're working with limited resources, that's technical resources, and we're also currently in conversation with APRA to get licensing, and ultimately that will determine what we can offer in terms of online coverage, live streamed, and both hosting of performance content. So that is the plan. Fingers crossed we can make it happen. But again, reiterating that the biggest thing for us was giving students the opportunity to perform live and to industry eyes. But yes, we are hoping that is the case. All right. We'll just leave the question line open for a moment. Who would like to see me dance? No, that was a joke. It was always going to happen. I can't stay serious for too long. I was saying that's going to be worse than my dancing. But again, I want to thank you all for your support for SUSU. I'm not sure, I can't see who was actually on this call, but A lot of the familiar faces are up there, and again, it means a lot that that we have your support. Ultimately, we want SUSO to continue, and we can only do so with if it's something that the community wants, which you are, and especially the students that we want to provide this opportunity for. So yes, please rest assured that we've done absolutely all we can to keep SUSO as much or as close to what you know it to be. But it has been a challenge for sure. It has been an absolute challenge, and we're still not there. And to be honest, we are in a very reactive space, as is the whole world right now. But we are doing all we can to provide some consistency in terms of how we deliver SUSO. I think we are just about there in terms of the questions have stopped. Again, I'll just go over those changes for you again, because that may trigger some questions for you. Again, moving to a hubs format based out in each of the regions, North, South, East, West, and Central Auckland. It's not a competition. It is a celebration. We are working closed auditions, formats. We're dealing with less numbers. There is no dance category. It is music only, both solo and group. We have a final of sorts, but it is presented as a showcase, and we have selectors that are replacing our judges, but the role is basically the same. So if any of those reiterated changes trigger any questions, please fire them through now. Yeah, thank you, Lee, for that too. Thank you for the support. Sorry, I won't pretend to understand what my colleagues are trying to ask me, but I'm getting a question on the side here. Oh yes, again, if you have any other questions, you can fire them through to the SUSO inbox. We'll also be sharing this reluctantly. It's not my decision, but we will be sharing this hui on social media, and we can distribute via email to our database if there is a desire for that to be done so. But with that, I think we're just about done. Again, thank you for taking time to join this hui. Wishing all your students the very best of luck at SUSO. We as always, we're super excited at this end to see what talent is out there. It's always a treat for us. It's a highlight for I'm speaking on behalf of the Stand Up, Stand Out team here at Auckland Council, but it is a highlight in our work calendar. It is a lot of hard work, but we get so much out of providing this opportunity for your students. And we again, especially given the circumstances with COVID, we are really excited and looking forward to seeing the talent on stage at Stand Up, Stand Out. Again, we're well aware of the limited opportunities, especially for our seniors. And we know that a lot of high school seniors have missed out on a lot this year. We're mindful that their senior balls, the Rock Quest, and other music competitions and performance opportunities have fallen away. So it's really important to put extra emphasis on us to try and get this across the line. So yeah, we look forward to seeing all the amazing talent on stage, and of course having fun is a big part of that. You know, you will be familiar with some of the SUSO crew, really enjoying ourselves on the job, and we hope that your students will have fun as well. Can we, sorry, another question from Lee, Kia Tongtanu. Can we perform the same piece for audition and showcase? Absolutely. That has always been the case with SUSO, and a good question that has been asked, because we do often get asked, you know, if there's penalties for song choice changing or performing the same song. No, that's not the case. Each performance will be judged on its merits. There will be no demerits for the same song being performed. So play your best card and play it as many times as you feel. Yeah. All right. Anything else before we close down for the afternoon? Okay. Again, this will be made available on our social media platforms, or primarily Facebook, and we can share this presentation via email if you'd like to view this again or have on record. And if you have any further questions, please send through to the SUSO email address, and our team will do our best to reply as promptly as possible. Thanks, everybody, and again, looking forward to seeing you all in person. Peace.